Every student who begins secondary school or high school must complete a minimum of 40 hours of community service or community involvement activities as part of the requirement for the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, or the OSSD. Why do students need to volunteer, and what is the purpose? The main reason students are asked to volunteer is to encourage them to develop an awareness and understanding of their civic responsibility in society, and to allow them to see the direct role they can play in strengthening and supporting their communities. Volunteering also allows students to connect with others outside of their immediate circle. Community service can also have positive effects on mental and physical health. It can be great for career advancement, and finally, it's incredibly fun and can be quite fulfilling. Students can begin collecting volunteer hours during the summer before starting grade 9. Otherwise, then the students have all the way till the end of grade 12 to complete their 40 hours for graduation. Volunteer activities must occur outside of scheduled class time, so we encourage students to collect volunteer hours either during their lunch breaks or spares if they have any, evenings and weekends, or really capitalizing on long breaks such as our summer, winter, and spring vacations. The next few slides will display eligible activities that students can participate in to achieve their community service hours. There's quite a wide array of activities, ranging from fundraising and sports and recreation, all the way to working in different arts and culture activities or working with animals. I would encourage you to pause any of these next slides so you can read more details about the different areas.
Ineligible activities. It's important to remember the guidelines for what cannot be used towards one's hours. First off, an activity that is a requirement of a student's class or course cannot be used or counted towards one's community involvement hours. So as an example, if a student was enrolled in a world issues class and perhaps they went on a field trip to volunteer at a soup kitchen, because that is part of that class requirement, that would not be used towards their volunteer hours. So this also kind of coincides with the next point, which is that hours cannot be counted if they take place during school or class time. So as an example, if there's a volleyball game going on and a student is scorekeeping, if that student is missing their regular scheduled class to volunteer, then those hours cannot be counted. So if, however, a student is volunteering outside of those regular school hours, so before school, after school, at lunch, or maybe on a spare, then in that case, those hours can be counted. So the last point bolded here is a question we are often asked, which is if daily chores can count towards hours. So any activity that is normally performed in the home, such as helping with cleaning or organizing, cannot be used towards one's community involvement hours. So this also includes any personal recreation activities, such as sports leagues. Again, these hours cannot be used to meet that volunteer requirement. In addition to the ineligible activities outlined by the Ministry of Education, Crestwood has also determined the following are ineligible for hours. First off, any activity that provides direct financial benefit or gain to the student or student's immediate family, for example, reduced summer camp fees, training for future employment. Next, an association with an organization or organizational activity that does not comply with the ethical standards, policies, procedures, and regulations of Crestwood Preparatory College. A simple membership of a club at school or in the community cannot count towards any community involvement hours. And finally, being a part of a community service day or activity during regular class time. So as an example, participating in the Terry Fox Walk or Run. Before you begin any volunteer opportunity, please ensure you're considering the following. First off, select a volunteer opportunity with consultation with your parents. Ensure that everyone is on board with your activity you're participating in. Next, check in with the guidance office to ensure that what you're planning to volunteer for will in fact be eligible for the community service hours. Some volunteer opportunities will require an application process, so please ensure to follow the instructions that are posted, whether that be filling out the application form or sending an email to sign up for the volunteer opportunity. Finally, students should make sure that you're confirming the details of the activity with the organizer who will be supervising you for those hours. While you volunteer, please ensure you complete your assigned tasks or roles to the best of your ability. So as a good volunteer, a couple things for you to keep in mind are ensuring that you're there on time, ready to go, you're taking responsibility and ownership over the roles that they have assigned to you, and you're ready to work well with others and keep up a positive attitude as you volunteer. Remember, when you're volunteering in the community, you're not only representing yourself, but you're also representing Crestwood. So please make sure you always put your best foot forward.
After a student has completed a community involvement activity, we do ask that they submit the online proof of community involvement form available on EDSB, and on the next slide, I will show you how to access that. This is a basic form that will include the important information that we need to record for a student's volunteer activity, including the organization's name, a supervisor's email, dates and hours of volunteering, and details about what the student did. To submit the online form, students should visit the Community Involvement Opportunities group on EDSB. On the left-hand side of this group, we have the online form pinned. They can click on the link here, and this opens up the job form. From here, students will start out by filling out basic demographic information, including their first and last name, their Crestwood email, and the current grade they're in. Next, they will fill out a parent or guardian's name and contact email, and then they will list the details about their volunteering activity, including the name of the organization, address or event location, their supervisor's name and contact email, details about their volunteering activities, start and end dates, and the total hours completed. Once that is done, we're going to scroll down to the verification letter. Students can upload the verification letter here that they received from their volunteer organization, and if they didn't have one, that's okay. We can reach out to their supervisor to verify. Once that's done, the student is going to submit the blue button at the bottom. They will get a verification email, and guidance will also receive the hours for input. To find volunteer opportunities happening in the community, students can visit the Community Service group on EDSB, that group we just looked at on the previous slide. This page is updated each month with a variety of new and exciting volunteer opportunities happening locally that the guidance team has reviewed and found is best suited for students between the ages of 14 and 18 years old. Here's the Community Involvement Opportunities group, and you can see on the main page there are a variety of postings happening each week that cover different types of volunteer activities in the community. The guidance team really tries to post a variety of activities so we can really hit all of our students' interests and needs. In these postings, we include information about what the volunteer activity is and how you can go about applying. Furthermore, on the left-hand side of the page, we have included reputable volunteering resources and organizations. So if a student is really passionate or keen about one specific area of volunteering, they can visit this Google Doc page and check out the current volunteer opportunities on any of these organizations' websites.
If you have more questions about anything related to the community involvement opportunities, whether it be if you're not sure if a volunteer experience would be eligible, or if you maybe need a little bit more support on how to reach out to volunteer opportunities or the application process, please always feel free to come by the guidance office or to send either myself or Mrs. Appleby an email so we can help support you through that process. Additionally, if you're maybe not sure how many hours that you have or just want to double check the hours have been counted, again, always feel free to send us an email or drop by.